Hey YouTube, Andrew here, a guy with a tractor. Today we're going to go over the install for a WR Long third function kit for my John Deere 3025E. I ordered this kit from Everything Attachments. Travis really hooked me up, got me the kit I needed. I was real skeptical about putting this on myself because there's not much online about it. As far as which lines I need to replace, there was some confusion on. I've read one that it was this line, read somewhere else it was the other line, and it was a little bit confusing. I looked for videos on how to install it. There wasn't any. So I figured while I was going to do this, I might as well make a video and bring y'all along and maybe help some of y'all out that have some questions on how to do this on your 3E series, and maybe give you the confidence of doing it yourself and saving you some money. If you like this type of video, please subscribe and click the bell notifications for updates on future videos of this nature. Thank you, and stick around. Okay, so here we are. I'll open this thing up, see what all included. And this is actually a WR Long box. And they're out of North Carolina also, so looking at the shipping label, Everything Attachment takes the order and then actually turns around and orders it from WR Long. And you see it says John Deere 300E, which that's the loader I have, so. Packing. We have a box. Let's see what's in it. So in the box is our controller. It's not put together, but we can put it together and wire it up, make it work. More packaging. Have the solenoid itself. Heavy duty, this thing's beefy. Looking at them online, this all looked plastic and stuff, but I like how beefy and rugged this thing is. So there's that. Then we have our hoses. That's the one that's going to connect the tractor to the power beyond, or the port there. And then we have our actual loader hoses. And I'm not sure exactly how this thing mounts to the loader, but we're going to figure it out and see. And figure out how that bracket mounts. We may have to come up with something to mount the hydraulics on the front. And then we have a fusible link with a little 10 amp fuse in it. And one page of instructions and one checklist to make sure everything's there. So, yeah, we're gonna have a little fun putting this together, and hopefully we'll learn something along the way. I haven't seen a video on this, so hopefully this is helpful for someone else. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to mount our solenoid. These two Allen heads right here, and right here is a 3/16 Allen key. I've got one on a ratchet and I got a handheld. And then this nut right here is a 7/16. So I got a wrench and a socket to see which one works best for that. So we're going to get that installed. I'm going to show you where it's installed at. All right, so the solenoid mounts to this flat piece of stock right here that goes from your loader frame out to the front brush guard. It's got 2 Allen bolts. The first one, I used my 3/16 T-handle and was able to get it pretty tight so it would sit there good. I had to find a little spot right here. If it was too far forward, it was hitting on the loader cylinder. I couldn't get a good angle at it, so I slid it back to just where that worked right there. And then on the bottom one, I ended up using my 3/16 ratchet with my ratchet with my 3/16 Allen and 7/16 because it's got a lock nut on the back of it. Tightened it down. I'm not worried about that one. The one I'm worried about is the one that goes into the solenoid itself, the top screw right here. I'm going to keep a good check on that and make sure it don't work its way out and cause this thing to fall off. Don't want to tighten it too tight. We're going into aluminum, but if it does start working loose, I may have to put some Loctite or something like that on it. Another thing I did was my OCD-ness. I put a little level on it to make sure it was vertical up and down. If you can get a torpedo level, it'll just sit right there and give you a good little reference. And that is how the valve body is installed. All right, so the instructions say weld this or bolt this to the torque tube. I'm not welding and I'm not bolting this thing to my torque tube. I don't want to void my warranty. So what I've come up with is I've got some of this 2-inch channel, picked it up at the Big Orange store. And this piece is going to go on the back side of this torque tube. Well, that's up against like that. And then this piece will bolt up to it. And then this, I said, will sit right here. Because I've got these lines here, so I've got to be careful. And I'm going to take some of these hose clamps and go up under these lines and around this and hold this piece in place. And that was my 30-minute idea of coming up with how to do it. And I hope it works. If it don't, we'll try again. But we'll see at the end if it works. All right, so here's the bracket I made. I took the channel we talked about and I welded 2 bolts in it with some lock nuts and washers. Put some pieces of 3/16 down each side because this is where the steel straps are going to lay. That way it won't be able to slide back and forth. Once it's strapped onto the torque tube, it will be there. Pretty simple. Takes maybe an hour to make. A couple coats of paint and good to go. All right, so we got the bracket mounted onto the torque tube. The 5-inch pipe clamps run underneath the loader lines that go around, come through these little spots I got open here and cinch down nice and tight. And it is there. I'm moving the loader and not moving it, so that's what we want. I think that'll work good. Okay, so we got our handle installed on our joystick. The other handle just screws off. Did it by hand, didn't need no special tools, just threaded it off. And this one just slides down on it, and there's 2 set screws right here. They're 5/32 Allen heads. And I played around different ways, having the button up top or having it over here so I could hit it with my thumb. Finally got it positioned where I wanted it. Tighten up the 2 Allen screws, and then you take a 1/2-inch wrench and tighten up these lock nut thingies. Lock them down and it holds it good and tight. have to be careful though. The joystick will come all the way up and make contact with the switch leg. So you got to be careful. I just run mine flush with the top of this metal piece right here. Just held my finger in there and kept it at that height. And I think that's going to work good. Okay, so now we're to the point of tying in the hydraulics. So according to the manual, or the instructions that come with it, you got 3 black lines on the back of the loader valve. And it says it's the middle one. So that is this one right here. From what I read online, this is the actual Power Beyond. So we're going to remove all the little clips that hold all these lines together and remove this line itself and install the new lines that go from here up to the solenoid and from the solenoid to the back of the tractor. So let me get this off here and then we'll show you how it looks. Okay, we got the Power Beyond line off the valve here. We got it out of all the little braces here, running all the way to the back of the transmission back there. Now let's replace it with rubber line. Alright, so we got the rubber hose mounted into the pump, and it is going to go up above, sit on top of these lines, runs up to the side of the bottom of the solenoid that is closest to the operator seat, and then the line that is closest to the front of the tractor on the bottom runs down and back up on the bottom side of the loader joystick where you remove the still line. So now we gotta reinstall all the clips on these still lines and get this rubber hose tucked up out of the way and zip tied up. Let me do that and I will show you how I did it. Alright, so we got the line coming off the back. You got it zip tied. We put our brackets back in. Get the line zip tied up. Got our other bracket zip tied. And this line goes up to our solenoid and our other one back down. And it should be all good down this side. And on the front side, we got our bracket all mounted up. Got our hoses going up. This is a piece of 1 3/4 fire hose that I had. I put both the hoses in that as a protectant, zip tied it up around, zip tied it down through the loader lines, up. And to get it down into the solenoid, I had to split them here because this piece, the actual loader lines, is pretty rigid. So I had to put one on one side and one on the other side. And got all of them tightened up. So now we got all the hydraulic lines hooked up. Now time to run the electrical for the system. Let me do that and I'll show you how it did it. Okay, so we've run the switch wire down from the solenoid up between the wires here inside the factory wire loom. We just put a hole in it, got it up through here, run it up through this boot. I did remove this plate that goes right here. This plate, I removed it. There's a bolt here and a bolt here with nuts on the bottom. But that allowed me to get this boot off real easy. And then I didn't have to cut the boot at all. It literally fit up beside on the shaft here. And then I put a piece of 1/2 inch wire loom around that. I'll end up taping that. Fed the wire up. And I did give myself a little extra wire in here. I looped it around once and back That way if I ever need to, any of these wires break or anything, I have extra wire in here so I can make some repairs if need to be. Now all that's left as far as this part is bolting on our cover. It's 2 Phillips head and then 1 hex head that actually goes into this metal piece right here. So we're going to get that hooked up and all bolted up and wrapped up, and then we are going to work on power for the actual solenoid. And I'll show you how I did that when I get it done. All right, here is number 1 we run into. See how far the loader joystick shaft sticks up? I brought it level to this piece. The only problem is when you go to put this screw in, that's a 5/32 Allen key. It goes in right here. You can't do it because it hits that. So we're going to have to slide this whole handle up a little bit to allow that screw clearance over top of that shaft right there. So don't make that mistake. All right, so my power wire come in from the solenoid in between the side panel here and this. There's a little crack that it runs in. Runs through, runs up the firewall. If you poke your finger around in there enough, you'll find the hole. I run it up and I just coiled it up right here. I didn't cut it off. I got the fuse block that came with it in here, the little 10 amp fuse. If you watch my video previously, I'll post a link to it right here for adding secondary circuits. And I run a 20 amp circuit over here to this switch for future lights that I'm going to put on the tractor. So what I did into that, it's 20 amps fused over there, and then I tapped into it and put a 10 amp fuse here. So this thing's never going to use 10 amps fully. My lights are never going to use 10 amps completely. So altogether, I'm never going to overdo that 20 amp circuit over there. So, like I said, if you want to see how I run the wires and tie it into the fuse block on the other side, watch my video on adding circuits to the 3E series, and you will see that. And this will wrap it up. And if you listen real closely, the solenoid is working, so that's good. So there's that. It is installed. Now all we gotta do is put all the little trim and everything back on and we'll be done. Okay, so if you're still at this part of the video, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Maybe I give you the confidence of doing this yourself. It's really not a hard project. The hardest part for me was coming up with a design for the bulkhead on the front of how to mount my quick attach. Think I did really good. It's sturdy, strong. It don't require drilling or welding. So maybe we can, maybe I can talk to WR Long and have them start making that bracket for future kits that they sell with these third function kits. It's a real sleek design, and I think it's effective. Like I said before, please click the like button on this video, subscribe, and click that bell notification for future videos. Thank you, and have a blessed day.